Pay attention. Pay attention. Have you ever thought about the implications of the way we ask somebody to give us their attention? We don't say, lend me your attention, let me borrow your attention. We say, pay attention. And the reason we say pay attention is that we are expecting somebody to give us something without, well, it can't be repaid. Once you have paid your attention, it is gone forever. I'm Joe Tye, CEO of Values Coach, and your coach for this course on the 12 core action values. And today we start a new value. We start core action value number 3, awareness. And awareness has to do with paying attention in the very broadest sense of that word, paying attention. Your attention is absolutely your most precious resource. Far more precious than money, than your possessions, even more precious than your time. We all have the same 24 hours a day. The difference is what we choose to give that time to. In other words, to what do I pay attention? And make no mistake about it, your attention is a choice. What you choose to pay attention to. Do you pay attention to all the negative and bad stuff in the world? Do you pay attention to the good stuff in the world? You will have an attitude of gratefulness or an attitude of resentment, depending upon how you make that choice. Do you pay attention to the bad news in the world or the good news? When you come home at the end of the day and flip on the TV and watch the news, the Tragitainment Network, turning tragedy into entertainment to sell advertising, you are making a choice to not read a good book, to not play with the kids, to not call an old friend. You can only use your attention once. I personally have a rule when it comes to tragitainment, all the bad news that the media purveys. Two requirements. One, does it personally affect me? If it doesn't affect me personally, or my business, or my family, or my community, then it has to pass a second rule. Do I intend to do something about it? If the answer to those two questions is no, then I don't feel like I need to waste my time paying attention to it. A murder in some far off country, that is just tragitainment. Only if it affects me and or if I plan to do something about it, should I give it my attention. Should I pay attention to it? You cannot multitask attention. You may think you can. You may think you can be talking on the phone and driving at the same time, but you're not. You're paying attention. Your attention is shifting between two things. And we end up with fragmented attention. We end up with, whether you've got clinical ADD or not, we end up with ADD type of behavior. The ability to concentrate for an extended period of time, to pay attention, is the essence of genius and achievement. And we can all be people of genius and achievement if we're willing to concentrate our attention. What you choose to pay attention to is the platform upon which you build your vision of the future. If all you're doing is paying attention to everything that's wrong with the world, everything that's wrong with your life, all of the problems, all of the worries, and you're not paying attention to technological developments, you're not paying attention to the good things going on in the world, you're not paying attention to the opportunities you have to make a difference in the world, you're going to end up with a very narrow platform for your future vision, and it's going to be a pretty anemic vision. On the other hand, if your attention is broad, if you're really aware of what's going on around you, you will have a much broader platform upon which to build that future. And by being aware of what's going on around you, I do not mean all the bad news in the world. I mean the opportunities to make a difference, the opportunities to get ahead in your life. Now, the cornerstones of awareness are, first, mindfulness. And that has to do with being in the world, being consciously engaged with your world. Objectivity, to see things as they really are. Empathy, the ability to put yourself in the shoes of somebody else. And reflection, taking that time for the inner dialogue, the inner introspection, for asking that question, not just what do I do, but who am I? Now, I'm going to give you a homework assignment between now and tomorrow when we cover our next module. And that is every 15 minutes. Just do this one day. It'll amaze you. Every 15 minutes, stop, pull out a note card, and write down what you've been paying attention to for the last 15 minutes. I think by the end of the day, you might be surprised at some of what's going on in the attic of your mind. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about mindfulness.